something happens when two people start to connect. It's the birth of a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't really talk about it from the perspective that this two people coming together creates a third entity.
That's right.
But what we learned really early on is that a relationship actually has a heartbeat of its own. It grows a personality, it develops its own needs. Damn, it can be a hungry beast at times.
Yep.
It has its own pulse, its own rhythm, and it's this life of its own that it has the capacity, and this is what happened to us, because we weren't conscious that we were creating another entity, but it actually almost swallowed us whole.
No, we did realise that it became like this third being, this third party between us, and you start feeding it, you start tendering to it, looking after it like it's another being, and you give it your best parts, you feed it, you water it, and before long you're living with a relationship and not living for yourself.
Yeah, and so you can lose yourself really, really easily to the life of the relationship. Sounds a little parasitic, but it's bigger than that. It's not just a parasite.
No.
It's so much more than that. Anyway, and the other thing that happens in relationships is that you you hold a mirror to each other. You see in each other stuff, but then you reflect back to each other what you're seeing.
Yep.
And in doing so, damn, that can be cruel.
I started to see your fear and everything else that was going on for you before I started to see your light.
Yeah.
And I think you saw my avoidance before you saw my loyalty and my love and my trust. So it wasn't intentional. It was just what rose to the surface. Those things that we started to see rather than focusing on what was behind that.
And the reflection wasn't very flattering. It was like fluorescent lights in a department store. Super confronting.
Yep.
Really uncomfortable in the honesty of that. And it shook us, didn't it?
Yeah. Well,
because neither of us expected that kind of clarity, especially when we were so young.
No, neither of us, but certainly I can speak for myself, had any knowledge of skills or relationships or how to employ those things. All I thought was, love was going to be enough, which in of itself was highly destructive.
It was at times, wasn't it? Because the wild truth here was that my need for safety was kind of versing your way of how you loved. And at the core of our friction was something simple but absolutely enormous. I couldn't accept the love that Stephen had.
Right.
And what he offered, because he could only love me in the way you knew how, right? And he had no reference point, none for the internal storms that I was carrying.
I didn't understand the depth of what was underneath for you, what were all the past and all of that meant. I didn't understand that at all. I wasn't dismissing you or those parts. It was just, I genuinely believed, as I said before, that love and kindness could fix anything. And I thought if I stayed steady and reserved and conservatively, what I was trying to be safe, but if I stayed in that attitude, and if I remind you everything would be okay, that would land, but it didn't.
No.
Well, not always. It rarely did.
And in that Pollyanna approach of the idealist and the romantic that you are, and you still are, it sometimes made it worse because the reassurance didn't actually in any way, wasn't able to captivate and settle my nervous system because I was so incredibly dysregulated and had no concept of how to regulate myself. And as a result, those words would actually cause me to feel like I was being gaslit.
Yeah, right, wow. Yeah. I did all those things that I thought love was, dinners or flowers or dates or surprises or gentle words. and I honestly thought that this is how you show someone that you adore them. It was more through those acts and just trying to be consistent, and the words of love, but not necessarily the actions.
Yeah, which there were plenty of. We did have some really beautiful, and we still do have beautiful moments. But under the surface, I could be triggered by the smallest thing: a tone, a silence, a look, a situation, and the whole world inside of me would just detonate.
Yeah, and I was there thinking, how do we get from love and laughter to this? My instinct was always to steady the ship, but I didn't know how. I didn't have the tools for that level of intensity and stress. I just didn't. Very immature in that regard.
No, and look, those storms were enormous. They really were.
Massive.
And my nervous system, once it hit overwhelm, it wasn't just a mood swing, it was just a full-blown catastrophic collapse. And it could take days for me to kind of come back to a midline, catch my breath, come back to myself, because I had no tools, which obviously left you feeling utterly shattered.
Yeah, but I never blamed you. I just wanted to be consistent. My anxiety would go through the roof, and instead of reaching towards you, I'd retreat, not to avoid you, but just trying to figure out what the hell was going on. And I thought I didn't want to upset anything anymore, or upset the apple cart.
So my explosion, and rightly so, will cause you to kind of cocoon in self-protection, and you retreat into yourself. It would absolutely cause you to have extreme anxiety.
Yeah. But we were missing each other. There was love there, a lot of love, but we were constantly missing each other. You reached out looking for safety. I was trying to find clarity, and those two things were rarely in the same room.
At the same time.
They just weren't.
No. We didn't understand any of this back then.
No.
We didn't have the language for it. We certainly didn't have the tools. We didn't have the framework. We weren't processing or communicating.
Right.
We were just two teenagers with a lot of love for each other, a lot of vision for our futures together.
Yep.
But while we were trying to build something, we were constantly running from our own shadows.
Yeah, and we didn't evolve. We endured, not really always enjoying, but endured. We didn't navigate anything. We just braced ourselves and got through the flare-ups.
Yeah.
And I want to say the core, I think there was love, otherwise we wouldn't be here today.
Absolutely. But that's the other thing, isn't it? Because our perception of what love was was something that we were fashioning and forming as we kind of tripped through life.
Yep.
It was raw and it was unpredictable, and it was deeply human.
Yep.
We didn't know any better. We weren't loving each other the best way we knew how, and we can still miss things in each other. So, that's the honest, messy truth.
Yep.
Yeah.
If I could say anything to that version of us, and I guess that version of myself, or both of us, it would be that you're not failing. We were, I would say to myself and us, you're overwhelmed and you don't have the tools. So as someone once says, to be curious, to explore some answers and some tools.
Yeah. And I'd tell the girl that she was not impossible to love.
Nope.
That you just carry more than anyone of my age should ever have had to carry. And the love that I was being offered is real, but it's not the medicine that I needed.
Yep. The part of our story isn't about blame, it's about reality. Two good-hearted teenagers overrun by emotional weather that we didn't understand.
Yeah, and still, in spite of all of that, still choosing each other in all of the clumsiness, in all of the... the destruction was so huge. I can't even begin to think what it was like for the people around us that were watching us.
I don't think they understood.
Well, God, we didn't, so how could they?
No, they didn't understand. But we kept, choosing. We come to this place where we're saying we chose the chaos. But, realising that we couldn't fix it, but we chose each other. We chose the core parts of each other that we adored, and we wanted to. We saw through the bullshit.
Yeah, which I suppose is why, for the times that we have gone to therapy, and we have done a lot of therapy over the years, the therapists look at us and kind of go, they scratch their heads and go, "You guys are just an enigma." I think because they think we should either retreat to corners, sort out our shit and come back to it, or just bail. Yeah. And again, that's why we've actually called this, we chose this chaos, because we genuinely, and God, who knows, as we unpack all of this and we continue to explore the trauma bonds and the things that brought us together, we really hope that as you're watching this and engaging with it, at the core of what we're doing here, what we really want to do is allow people to have the permission to feel uncomfortable, to be honest and real, and not feel like you're failing.
Yep, that's key.
Because society today thinks that things should look a particular way or feel a particular way, but they don't. No two relationships are the same. No. They all have their own heartbeat, their own DNA, and you know what? That's something that when it's working, it works well, but when it doesn't, it gets messy. And we're here for the mess and the fun.
That's it. I think that was very